Round 5 started at the Alberton Oval, where a lot of the opposing players knew each other from school. The match was played in a good spirit in which the wind played a significant factor, and making the best of the conditions was the Eagles. Leading from the front was Carl Muller from Smosh Westlakes. Carl was one of 6 under-19 players let loose on Saturday, and all 6 were featured among coach Shane Grimm's best. Carl played reserves football throughout last year, and he should be playing reserves this year, but such is the strength of the seniors that for another week he was once again playing with the youngsters. Part of the Eagles' development squad, Carl did exactly what he was supposed to do, winning 32 hit-outs for the round. Another Eagle who could be playing with the seniors is Tasman Fitzgerald from the Central Air Football Club. Swapped with Ben Harron from Port Districts, the Eagles have made the most of him. Tasman is constantly impressing the scouts, scoring 2 goals from 17 disposals in this match. Jack Hayes from the Red Hill Football Club is the brother of Nick Hayes, who was rookie listed to Brisbane this year. Jack is one of many players who'll go back to college football this weekend. Part of the state squad, Jack kept the scoreboard ticking over with 3 goals to his name. And it was another state squad selection, Riley Knight from Clare, keeping the recruiters busy. Riley amassed 33 disposals during his 6 incursions inside 50. Port Adelaide was well served by Matt Williams. Last year's round 21 Macca's Cup MVP, Matt from the Elliston Football Club played his 4th game for the Magpies and earned his first best on ground tag for his work out of defence. With 30 disposals and 6 rebounds from 50, it's little wonder why. Coach Mark Clayton will miss Matt, who goes back to Ross Trevor College this weekend. One of 2 McIntyres in the team, Jamie McIntyre, showed his brother Travis why he won the Magpies Coaches Trophy and the Best Team Man award last season. From the Salisbury West Football Club, Jamie grabbed 6 marks from his 14 possessions on Saturday, but like most of his teammates, he failed to make best use of the strong breeze. In a match governed by the conditions, the Eagles led at every change, but it was the last one that mattered, and when the siren went, they were 31 points in front. With 11 players chosen in the initial under-18 state squad, the Glenelg Football Club is looking strong in 2013. With only 1 loss for the season at the hands of the Magpies, coach Adam Blakely came into this match with high expectations, and he wasn't disappointed. By quarter time, the difference was just short of 5 goals, and the Tigers kept up the pressure throughout. Best on ground for the Bays was midfielder Lucas Kanga. From Emmanuel College and a keen athlete, Lucas can run a 55-second 400 metres and is pretty handy with a javelin too. His athletic skills were put to the test in this match with some quite extraordinary statistics against his name. Lucas collected 18 kicks and 17 handballs during Saturday's outing, with no less than 8 incursions inside Sturt's 50-metre zone. Also on the score sheet was Jed Redden. Jed hasn't missed a game for the Glenelg under-18s this season, equals 6th tallest in the entire under-18 competition. It's little wonder Jed took 10 marks and won 10 hit-outs for his team. Jed shared the ruck duties with Peter Sperling, and between them they ensured the Tigers always had plenty of the ball. Scoring was aplenty at the Unley Oval, with 5 of Glenelg's goals coming from Thomas Ashby. Thomas plays in the Mid-South East Football League for the Coongarong Football Club, where he's also been known to knock up the odd half-century for the North Gambier Cricket Club in the summer. At the Unley Oval, his 5 goals came from just 14 quality kicks. For the Double Blues, scoring wasn't so easy, with only 2 players scoring more than 1 goal. The whole team only kicked 8 for the game, which was about 11 less than they needed. Best of field was Dean Gore, the 16-year-old from the Hahndorf Football Club, was selected in last year's Under-16 National Championships in Western Sydney. Also a keen cricketer, playing for at least 3 teams during the summer, Dean was concentrating on football on Saturday, notching up 17 possessions and a goal for Sturt. Henry Voigt booted 2 goals from 23 possessions. At 195 centimetres, Henry, from Scotch College, worked hard for his 18 kicks and did his best to give Sturt some respectability on the score sheet, but it was the Tigers' easy winners in the end. Tough times ahead for all under-18 teams, with a busload of players leaving for college football this weekend. None more so than the Tigers, who'll lose 10 players, but in round 5 it was Glenelg by 65 points. The ladder leaders entertained the Panthers at the Prospect Oval. With North coming into the round with an average of 134 points per game, the Panthers had a task ahead of them to restrict North to under 100 points for the first time in 2013. This they did, but Tony Bamford's Panthers still couldn't get the win. And it was the first quarter that hurt the most. The Panthers were 5 goals down at the first break, and despite winning the second and third quarters, they would never take the lead. The Roosters were well served by Gaza Football Club's best and fairest player, Liam Jacker. The midfielder ran hard all day with 14 kicks and 8 handballs to his name. The Adelaide High School student pushed inside South's defensive zone on 6 occasions to feed the forwards. And gratefully on the receiving end was St Peter's boy, Mitchell Harvey. Mitchell kicked his 20th goal of the season in this match, taking his average haul to 5 per game. Very handy indeed. Shoring up the defence was Darcy Knoll from the South Augusta Football Club. Darcy's 20 disposals included 9 kicks and 11 handballs. The Panthers never gave up and at times looked like they could notch up win number 1 for 2013, but Tony Bamford's role is one of development and consolidation. The wins will come. And making sure the scoreboard was still ticking over for South was Michael Ross. Michael kicked 5 goals on Saturday to add to the 9 he'd already kicked this season. Not bad considering he only had 8 kicks for the entire match. Best on ground again, not surprising, was last week's Macca's Cup MVP, Caleb Daniel from the Edwardstown Football Club. Caleb has been voted best on ground in 3 of his 4 starts this season for South. That means there's room to improve. Well done, Caleb. And improving no end was first gamer Mark Hollis playing out the back. Mark picked up 14 kicks and 9 handballs, bringing the ball out of defence 6 times for his team. But his team would lose yet another match, 4 losses from 4 starts for the Panthers. In round 5 it was Tim Weatherall's Roosters by 17 points. The Sunday match last weekend was at the Richmond Oval and it was nothing to write home about. A scrappy affair with a cliffhanger finish. More on that in a moment. Norwood came to Richmond having won only 1 game, and that was against Central District. Enough said. So coach David Odie was seriously in need of some hard work from his boys in the last round before the college exodus. But for 3 quarters he didn't get it. Westies kicked better, ran better and made better use of the ball. And leading by example was the AIS scholarship holder Sam Durden from the East Mallee Football Club. In just his second game back after 8 weeks off for surgery on a broken finger, Sam was easily Westie's best, kicking 4 goals from centre half forward. And this despite being double and sometimes triple tagged throughout the match. At the other end of the ground, Jess Watchman from the Blackwood Footy Club only had 1 goal in mind, to keep his opponent goalless, and he achieved that goal despite the fact he is a natural forward. Being flipped with Sam Durden for round 5 proved the flexibility of the team. Also back from surgery after a knee reconstruction from an injury back in round 3 last year, Dylan Mayle from Roxby Downs had been itching to get back on the park for weeks. Coach Jared Mears finally let him off the leash and he responded well with 18 possessions. For the Redlegs, Anthony Giannini was one of the few players to give 4 solid quarters to his coach. From Marriotteville High School, Anthony played a grade above this level, having been with the reserves for the first 3 games of the season. It showed. And Nathan Sermon from Ross Trevor College proved his versatility, starting up forward, then moving back into the ruck before stints in defence and on the wing. It didn't help the error count though. Norwood edged its way back into this game in the final quarter and could have, and perhaps should have won, but a costly free kick 4 minutes from the end would prove decisive. But not as decisive as this kick after the siren. The pressure was on Josh Flynn, kicking with the breeze. West coach Jared Mears couldn't watch. He'd already disappeared down the race when Flynn's kick missed just. West hung on for a win by just 2 points.